Riley. Seems as though reports are that he's trying to get things in line to land Kevin Durant.
I heard.
Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade seems to think he's a $20 million player.
Why?
Dwayne.
At the end of his career. Look,
see,
when
Kobe broke the curve.
This,
that's why.
When I saw this, I go, Dwayne Wade got to be smoking crack.
No,
I was like,
crack.
I know you don't think nobody gonna pay that dude $20 million a year.
Kobe, like the Lakers have broken the curve. I'm not gonna blame it on Kobe because he just signed a check.
First of all, D Wade and Kobe not the same guy.
Say that. Say that.
I mean, like D Wade done some great things in Miami. But it's like he ain't the bean, dog.
And
I mean that.
The second part of that is Miami ain't L.A. So yeah. You'll be done playing basketball in Miami, and everybody down there will move on. It's like it was good while it lasted. Let's go back to the beach and watch half-naked, in-shape broads. Yeah, no one cares that much. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, they move on. This article here is from Pro Basketball Talk, I think. Yes, Pro Basketball Talk. Wade wants to opt out of his player option for next year and would rather sign a long-term deal to gain a modicum of security as his career begins to come to a close. Absolutely. Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald says a Wade associate has told people that Wade would welcome a contract averaging $20 million annually over the next 3 years.
Sure, he would welcome.
Right. If that's true, it would be understandable considering the 13 to 15 ranges of Duncan and Nowitzki. Wade's agent Henry Thomas politely declined to confirm that or anything regarding Wade's specific financial expectations. We've heard that the Heat would prefer Wade opt in for $16 million next season, then take a very significant pay cut over the following years. But it's important to note that the numbers were not confirmed by the Heat, which obviously isn't saying what it will offer when formal offers can be made July 1st. And I would be surprised if the Heat didn't make a solid offer at the time. Whether it's so Wade's liking is another it's to Wade's liking is another story entirely that must play out. All right, here's the thing. Now there's also rumors that Dwayne Wade might be headed to Cleveland to play with his boy again, to try to get a couple more rings on his finger with King James. So this dude might be in a position where, and I forgot who I heard talking about this earlier, where you kind of try to put it out there in the public and let people turn on the team. So when you do move on, it's not your fault. Like, no one's looking at Dwayne Wade. Like, all these guys learned from that whole LeBron mistake. It was like, this is what I'll do. I'll tell them that I deserve this money. Get people on my side. Like, it's Wade County. What you mean he don't deserve it? Look what they did for Kobe out there in L.A. Again, two different examples. First of all, they got a TV deal. So whatever, they burning money. They wiping their butt with money. They don't care. Ain't no TV deal in Miami.
Every team in L.A.
Right.
Every team in L.A. wiping their butt with money.
So it's good. So to think that Dwayne's going to cash in that way because of what he's already done for the franchise. First of all, I think the Kobe thing was ridiculous too. The fact that, you're paying him for what he's already done in any sport, period. I'm no way a believer of that, but it happens. So now Dwayne Wade's looking for that to happen. Or you turn the public on the team so that when you leave, everybody was like, oh, he had to. They were trying to disrespect him with $16 million.
But guess what? If Miami was able to turn around and land a guy like Kevin Durant, nobody would even be thinking about, they did Dwayne Wade wrong. They wouldn't even be thinking about that.
Probably for a minute. They would, because he's a staple down there. You know what I mean? And you can't disqualify the things that he's done.
Well,
but eventually they'll win games, and then they'll be like, whatever.
They'll forget, right?
Who remember? Remember that guy who used to wear number 3? What was his name again? Yeah, because it's Miami. Like, if it was anywhere else, if it was New York or L.A. or Boston or somewhere like that, it'd be a bigger deal. But or there are rumors that he could be wanting to go home and play in Chicago. If this Jimmy Butler thing don't work out. And they find themselves in need of a 2-guard. Another dude going back home. Derrick Rose will be in a contract year next year, I think. Yeah, I think Derrick Rose's contract year is next year. all the pieces kind of fit, but for my money, they work it out. He ends up back in Miami. Facing the franchise.
They probably meet him at 17.
And then he's looking across. He's looking at Chris Bosh like, Chris Bosh going to the pay counter every week, looking at him like, I don't believe it either, dog. I don't believe they did it either. Yeah, he maxed out. I don't know what Chris Bosh is getting, but I know it's still more. Than
well, I'm gonna tell you though. See, I get trying to be the consummate team player and being willing to take hits on your contract so that, the team can go out and sign other players. But I ain't gonna lie, man. That's what he's a victim of at this point because he, when they originally signed LeBron and Bosh, he took the lower amount.
But we talked about this last week. We talked about this last week. That dude ain't no damn victim. Like, what would have happened to Dwayne Wade's career had he had to carry that team for those last 5 years that Bosh and LeBron were? We saw what it was looking like before they got there, after Shaq left.
Yeah, terrible.
Exactly. Yeah, Dwayne Wade ain't no victim. He did what all of us do at some point in our lives. It's called self-preservation. And if you gotta it's like getting your hand caught in a bear trap. If you gotta cut that hand off to save the rest of your life, that hand gotta go. Same thing with him. If he gotta give up a couple of extra $1 million to supplant himself as a Hall of Fame player, a first ballot Hall of Famer, by all means, it's done. So now that run is over with, you don't see me shedding no tears for old Dwayne Wade. You got exactly what you signed up for. You got 2 championships out the deal, and really could have gotten 3. Let's not skim past
3.
it.
Yeah, the first one with Brian and Chris Bosh against Dallas, they could have got that one.
So no one is shedding a damn tear for Dwayne Wade. Plus, you got that going on. You're down in Miami. You live in Miami, first of all, and then you got a fine-ass wife. Life's good. If you're Dwayne Wade, life's good, man.
And you got your kids, so you ain't paying no child support.
If $16 million is disrespectful, come on, give me the disrespect. You can give me half the disrespect if you want to. I'm good. $8 million, I'll make it work. And that ain't really my cup of tea conversation. Get all you can, but to be realistic and understand your worth. And please don't do the whole Dwayne, he had to sacrifice and take a step back. He didn't have to do nothing. Dwayne could have maxed out and carried the team on them badass knees, missing a third of the games.
Now, I saw a very interesting scenario. You remember the other day I was telling you that, with it being such a light sports day, a lot of folks are just going back, doing revisionist history stuff and trolling Twitter for old tweets or whatnot. But I saw this story, and I think it was on Pro Basketball Talk, where they talked about how the Big Three almost never happened, and it was talking about the Big Three in Boston, which led to the Big Three in Miami, and it was all on Sean Marion. All of that happened because of Sean Marion. Sean Marion wanted a max deal. You know about this story?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening very attentively. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually.
Sean Marion wanted a max deal from Phoenix, right? But what Phoenix was trying to do is they were trying to have some wiggle room so that they could sign Kevin Garnett. So it would have been like Garnett, Steve Nash, and Sean Marion. But Sean Marion kind of forced their hand, to give him this big deal. And so, they didn't have the money to sign KG. So that's how everything happened, because it was I'm trying to think. The other scenario was a 3-player deal where Kevin Garnett would have went to Phoenix. Sean Marion would have gone to Boston. Amari Stoudemire would have ended up in Atlanta, and the Timberwolves would have ended up with 2 first-round draft picks.
Wait, so why wouldn't Amari Stoudemire have still ended up in New York? What would the other 2 things have to do with him not going to New York?
Well, no, because that was the other scenario that they actually were trying to work out a trade scenario where because Stoudemire was with Phoenix at the time.
No, so, what you mean? The year of LeBron?
Was that the year of LeBron?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're talking about
right.
It wasn't the year of LeBron. You're talking about the big three. The big three with Boston.
3 years before. 3 years before. Right.
I'm back with you. I'm back.
So, So actually, like I said, Amari Stoudemire would have ended up getting shipped to Atlanta. Marion would have went to Boston. KG would have went to Phoenix, and then the Timberwolves would have ended up with 2 first-round picks.
Wait,
so, like I say,
but who does Atlanta give
Marion.
up to get Amari Stoudemire? Like, who gets shipped there to Phoenix to get Amari Stoudemire here?
One of those first-round picks that Minnesota would have gotten would have been from Atlanta.
Yeah, that's somebody doing some work. Good for them. Whoever wrote that, that's somebody doing some work. I can't either deny or approve it, but sounds good.
But it was crazy when I was like, wow. So, Boston could have never happened if Sean Marion had agreed to, had been willing not to force them to give him a max deal. Like, it would have never happened because KG wouldn't have been there. Atlanta would have ended up with Stoudemire. Not sure how that would have turned out because, now that we know of, Stoudemire's, knee situations and whatnot, I don't know how that would have worked out for Atlanta, or if we would have even seen what we saw this year out of the Hawks, because so many, all it takes is one domino to throw everything off that's happened here in Atlanta, here as of late. But I thought it was an interesting read, because, for everything, all the grief we give Sean Marion, when he does come in the game for Cleveland, it's like, wow, dude, you really had some power at one point.
Yeah, Sean Marion was a baller in his prime.
Oh, yeah, Matrix,
yeah. But he's old now, and Father Time is doing what it... You remember he came out with like a no-cussing rap record? Did you ever see that?
No.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Google that.
I didn't know Sean Marion was one of the media
when you have time,
athlete turned rapper.
Go ahead and get that in your system when you get time. Don't rush.
He ain't got no cuss words now, man.
Yeah,
I gotta get some Phil Pouring Phil.
Well,
I need that.
That's the blackness in you. Yeah. Has to be X-rated and all vile for you to enjoy it. I'm
But you know what's even crazier is that just talking to Sean Marion, you realize that he was called The Matrix, but do you realize how long ago it's been since The Matrix was out?
The movie?
Yeah.
Well, like 14 years?
Yeah, it was 99.
Yeah, I saw it. I know that because one of the shows I watch on HBO, used to watch, The Newsroom. The dude was like the worst movies of all time. He put The Matrix on it, and the dude that was actually doing the computer work for the news department, he was like, so apparently the all time only encompasses the last 15 years or something like that. He's kind of like roasting them. So that's the only reason I know how long ago The Matrix actually came out. Keanu Reeves probably last. Dude, do you know how old Furious Styles is?
Larry Fishburne got to be almost 70, man.
He's 72.
Yeah.
He was on this thing that my mom was watching over Memorial Day. And he was he was a veteran. He got injured some kind of way. I wasn't really listening to it. I was walking through the living room as my mom was watching it. But he was talking about not being a whole man physically anymore, but still finding a way to be a whole man spiritually and mentally in all these other ways. And he was like, at 72 years old, I was like, what the hell? How is Furious Styles 72 years old, dude? And if you're too young to understand who Furious Styles is, first of all, I'm not going to tell you. Google it. And then when you Google it, watch the damn movie. One of the best movies of my youth, period, point blank. It's not even close, by the way. Yeah.
Come here, Trey. Pops, what you doing? Come here.
Yeah.
You gonna have some yet?
Gotta have that coochie smell on him, and he ain't have it, old lying ass Trey. yeah. That chick. She was an Ebony Beauty of the Week. That chick that was sitting on this car.
Yeah.
Page 42, homeboy. Yeah, she was one.
You know how to drive stick.
I can learn. I was so like just knowing that happened. You like, yep, he lying his ass off all the way.
My grandma came home. She forgot her Bible or something. I guess she could smell the sex in the air. She came up. He jumped out the window.
Inevitably, this dude had to break down like a beer to get him some from Neil Long.
And that was the last time I seen her. Oh yeah, I just did this. Awesome. And to go a step further, Larry Fishburne, the artist formerly known as Larry Fishburne, Lawrence Fishburne, was a good old Cowboy Curtis in Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Nah, it dude's Furious Styles. Stop immediately. Stop doing it. He's Furious Styles.
Cowboy Curtis. He is Cowboy Curtis.
It's Sports Kings Live. Big Mike, Rob Calloway. We're on Spreaker.com. Don't forget, we're on